Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about an entire fragrance line. Not the entire line, but a lot of the ones that I'm really impressed with by this line. I had two of my subscribers, Hamzat and also T-Frag, that sent me a lot of these different fragrances from the niche designer or niche perfumer, and that is from Mancera. So I'm going to be talking about 5 different fragrances, as well as another one that I have in my collection that I really like. And so without further ado, let's get it. Alright, my great smelling dudes, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video. Before I get into the video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. Always helps out my channel. And also remember to comment below and let me know if you what your favorite Mancera is. If you haven't tried Manceras, which ones are you looking forward to trying? So I'm going to be doing some fresh ones like lemon lime, all the way to the darker ones like red tobacco. And so I'm going to, without savoring time here, I'm going to get straight into it. The first one I want to talk about is actually I like all of these, don't get me wrong, I like them all, but this is going to be my least favorite of the bunch, and it is Mancera Sicily. So again, I do like this, and I will buy a bottle eventually. All 5 of these I will end up buying a bottle of. Just wanted to let you know, there are other ones that I have tried that I will not buy a bottle of. This video is showing you the ones I like. And so Mancera Sicily, it's advertised as a citrus fruity fragrance with a slight white floral in there. And so the main notes you get in Sicily are mandarin orange, grapefruit, jasmine, and musk. When you first spray on Sicily, again, I'm just about out of it, so I didn't want to waste it here, but I know a lot about it. The first time I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all, and I asked Hamzat if he gets this real unisex, almost feminine vibe. And he said, no, I kind of get this orange juice vibe, which then I went back and I tried it a second and a third time. And so when you first spray this on, you get like that mandarin orange, but it comes off like a Tropicana orange juice. And it's mixed with this nice fruity, almost like peach and grapefruit or something mixed together. And those are in the background, and I'll talk about those later because they do pull up. But in the opening, for the first about 45 minutes, it's real citrusy. You get that orange juice vibe mixed with a little bit of a white floral in the background from the rose and from the jasmine. And then you also get, again, those fruity notes in the background. At about 35 to 45 minutes, that is where that orange juice, it never really fully dissipates. It becomes more of a background, and those fruity vibes really pull up, and so it becomes more fruity and less citrusy. That is also where the rose pulls up and the jasmine pulls up, and it gives you more of that. And that's where I started to say, is this feminine? So you guys know I'm not a big fan of florals, but honestly, after wearing this a few times, I really do like the way that orange juice and those fruity notes mix with the rose and the jasmine to give this sweet, fruity, citrusy floral. And that is what this fragrance is from opening to dry down. The only thing that really changed is into the dry down. You get some musks in there, but outside of that, I don't want to confuse you by adding any other notes. It is a citrusy, fruity floral, and it's more fruity floral once you get into the dry down with musks. There's nothing else going on with this fragrance. It's quite similar from opening to dry down. You get about 6 hours of projection from this fragrance, or longevity, with moderate projection. Of all of these, this is probably the least of the projection and performance. But that's Mancera Sicily. It's a really good fragrance. If you like that orange juice idea or the fruity floral, you should definitely give this a shot. Manceras for niche fragrances are all pretty affordable if you find it at the right time or on the right discounter. The next one is going to be another one of the freshies. I have 3 freshies and 2 that are more of the sweet, darker types. And this is going to be lemon lime. So again, this is another one that I didn't like when I first sprayed it on. I really do like the bottle. It looks like Sicily if you put like jail cell bars in front of it. It's really neat. So when I first sprayed this on the first time, I immediately got like a lemon cleaner vibe. And I know a lot of people say that about like Parfums de Marly Sedley and all of that. This one, it's real lemony. And it's not lemon lime, it's lemon lime. So this is going to be a lemon fragrance through and through. After the second and third time wearing this, I definitely changed my mind. But let me give you the notes here. So the main notes that you get in lemon line are lemon, lavender, amber, and musk. Although really all you need to know is lemon and musk, because you do get those amber notes to give it a little bit of this like resinous sweetness, but really not that much. The lavender does come in there a little bit to provide this like sweet floral, but again, not that much. It's not very floral at all. It's a lemon fragrance through and through. So once I wore this 4 times, I realized it's not really a lemon cleaner vibe in the opening. It's more like a lemon candy, almost like those lemon candies. What were they called? Lemon heads. Whenever I was growing up, it gives you that like sweet, tart, sour lemon candy vibe, especially in the opening. And what's crazy is that usually lemon notes don't stick in fragrances too long. They usually dissipate pretty quickly because they're light. But this one is a bit heavy and it stays there throughout the entirety of the fragrance. It's a lemon fragrance from the opening to the dry down. The only difference in the opening, you get a little bit of that lavender and aromatics in the background, yet in the dry down, you get those musks while that lavender dissipates, and then you get a bit of like almost like a sugary vibe. I don't understand how it actually happened, but I think it's from that amber. Again, you don't really get this like warm, sticky amber. It's more almost like a lemon head sugary vibe, and you get that in the dry down, and it's nice. It's actually really good. Once I got my nose on it quite a few times, I have to say for a lemon fragrance, that's probably in my top 3 lemon fragrances that I have tried. It beats out things like YSL YO Fresh, and even I might say Parfums de Marly Sedley, and Kamzat might be actually surprised to hear me say that. But lemon line, if you really do like the note of lemon and you want it to feel natural, that this isn't going to be for you. But if you like the lemon note that has that almost synthetic feel to it, this one is definitely going to be for you. It smells really good. So Lemon Line, that is by Mancera as well, definitely worth a pickup, and you can find that on Fragrance Buy right now, I think for $73. So now that we got a few of the freshies out of the way, I wanted to work my way into the fall and winter time fragrances. So this is actually going to be probably my favorite here, if not top 2. This is Instant Crush. A lot of people have compared this in the past to things like Baccarat Rouge 540 because of the saffron note in there. And while the opening, like 10 to 15 minutes, does give you that vibe, I wouldn't really call this like a clone or in a similar vein as it. Again, opening 15 minutes, I can definitely see the similarities. But with that said, Instant Crush. The main notes that you get in it are saffron, mandarin orange, amberwood, rose, vanilla, and sandalwood. This is going to be a warm and spicy woody fragrance. When you first spray this on, you're hit with that mandarin orange and the saffron. So it does feel like the saffron from Baccarat Rouge 540. It's really, really nice. It's smooth. It's a little bit spicy. It's really, really nice. And then you get that mandarin orange, which gives it this citrus sweetness, but just it doesn't have that super citrusy vibe. It's more of like a sweet fruitiness. And then that mixes together with the saffron and creates a really nice, beautiful opening. Whenever you work your way into the mid, you do get some rose and amberwood coming in. And as that mandarin orange dissipates, you do get that saffron mixing with that warm, resinous, woody amberwood. And then you get that light floral note on the side from the rose. It is actually very beautiful. If you like sweet scents, if you like saffron, if you like the type of fragrance that Baccarat Rouge 540 is, but you want a different take on that type, then you would definitely go with Instant Crush, because it's definitely going to be a great date night fragrance, a great cuddling fragrance. It lasts about 8+ hours. It projects above average. I think I forgot the lemon line. That is also for a lemon fragrance about 6 to 7 hours at minimum. It's a really good fragrance as well. But anyway, so Instant Crush, once you work your way into the dry down, you get this creamy, sweet vanilla musk that comes in as the saffron's dissipating, as that rose is almost gone. And then you have that amberwood mixed with that vanilla. It's creamy, it's warm, it's a bit spicy, and then you have just a bunch of musk that comes in, and it is really, really good. The dry down is my favorite part of this fragrance, and definitely something that you need to get your nose on. Again, for the price, I don't think that you can beat a fragrance like this for how it smells. Instant Crush is an automatic pickup for me, and pretty much anyone who likes sweet fragrances out there should definitely at least sample this. When it comes to sampling for any type of niche, you should definitely sample before you buy, just to throw that out there. So now going to the fourth one on my list, this one is going back to the spring and summer fragrances, and the one that I liked the least the first time I sprayed it on, but now it's in my top 3. This is going to be Aqua Wood. And what's funny is that it's called Aqua Wood, and I didn't know the notes of it, and it does feel like there's a bit of like a watery aquatic in there, but there is no aquatic notes, there is no woody notes, and it does feel a bit like that. But with that said, it is a bit different. So I'm going to give you the notes here. The main notes are surprising, and they are pear, citruses, rose, and amber. So when you first spray this on, Aqua Wood, you get this nice juicy pear. It is what gives me that aquatic vibe. It feels watery, it feels juicy, it feels fresh, it feels nice, fruity, and sweet. And then you also get that mixed with a bunch of different citruses. There's not one citrus there, it just feels citrusy. But the citruses are more of just a background, helping that pear out in the opening. And then you also get a touch of incense that gives it this like smoky spice. It's not heavy, and it never really does get heavy in this fragrance. When you get into the mid, you do get those citruses dissipating. The pear does stay there for the lifetime of the fragrance, but this is the point where you get some rose coming in and some of these florals that really makes it feel again more unisex. And then you get some incense again, and then amber. That is where I got the woody vibe, is because I feel like even though they say amber, it is more of an amber wood, because the amber, it has this like warm woody take to it. It's like a sweet, warm woodiness. And it comes in and mixes really nice with this pear. And that is where the fragrance really starts to hit its stride. I love the opening, not too thrilled about the mid, but then the dry down is where this amber wood really pulls up, and it really does hit its stride. Those florals do stick there as the pear does dissipate. So in the base, you're left with this amber, woody, musky, floral fragrance that has that juicy pear sitting in the background. It is really good. I'm still trying to get my nose to figure out if I love this fragrance like a 9.0. Right now it's at about an 8.0 for me, or an 8. And I like it a lot. It's just that mid is just where I kind of loses me for a second. But with that said, overall, if I had to describe this fragrance, it is a sweet, juicy citrus opening with a touch of incense. You get that floral mid with that amber creeping in, and then the base is a musky, amber woody floral. And it is really good if you like those type of fragrances. Again, try this out. Aqua Wood, it grew on me, and every time I wear it, it grows on me more and more. And at the end of the day, I actually could probably see this being my favorite in the line, just based on what I've smelled. So the last one on my list is going to be the completely different fragrance from all the rest. It's warmer, it's darker, it's deeper, it's fall and winter, and it's a tobacco fragrance through and through. It is Mancera's Red Tobacco. The rest I was sent by Hamzat. This one I was sent by T-Frag. So Mancera's Red Tobacco is a warm, spicy tobacco fragrance through and through. And the main notes, there are a lot of them that you can pull from this fragrance. The main notes that you get are tobacco, amber, cinnamon, saffron, incense, green apple, oud, and patchouli. When you first spray this on, you would think you get hit in the face with tobacco, but really the tobacco is in the background in the opening. You get a lot of that cinnamon, a lot of that saffron, as well as a bit of incense to provide this like sweet smokiness, as well as this spicy cinnamon, saffron, and then the background of tobacco. You also, as you're working your way into the mid, which is where this is pretty much where the fragrance really hits its stride, is where a lot of the spices tone down. You still have that cinnamon, you still have that saffron. When you get into the mid, you get this green apple that comes in and a slight touch of oud. It's not an animalic oud or anything like that. It feels more of a woodiness, and it comes in It mixes in with this green apple, which it provides this nice fruity accord. And that happens for about a half hour, and it mixes with those spices. So it's like a cinnamon saffron green apple with a touch of woods in the background. It's really beautiful. And then again, that tobacco is rising up and rising up, and it's more of like a dry pipe tobacco. It feels a bit aged. Only whenever the tobacco starts to actually come in. When it fully comes in, it is a really nice, sweet, almost like a moist tobacco. It is very, very good the way that they do it here. And then when you get to the dry down, you almost get this ambery, creamy vanilla that mixes with the tobacco, and that's what you're left with for the primarily the rest of the fragrance is a ambery, woody, vanilla tobacco fragrance. And then the tobacco is the main note at that point in time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is tobacco. And again, there's that cinnamon that stays there in the background. Once all the rest of the spices die down and go away, you're still left with a bit of that spicy accord in the background. So if you put those notes together, vanilla, cinnamon, spices, woods, tobacco, for any type of man who likes those type of fragrances, that sounds beautiful, and it is. So Mancera's Red Tobacco is all it is hyped up to be, and it's either number 1 or 2 on my list. It's definitely one that you definitely need to try out, and again, you can get it for a pretty good price usually. This is usually the one that's on the lowest of the prices. So those are the 5, and I do also have to say, I want to stand up here for a second. Sorry to do that, but this is Cedrat Boise. I didn't want to put this into the video because I've already done full reviews on it. I still think that this is going to be my favorite all-around fragrance from the Mancera line, although a lot of these Mancera fragrances, what I found, have this note to it. They have these feelings that every one of the fragrance, you know it's a Mancera when you spray it on. Kind of like when you spray on an Armani Code. You know it's an Armani Code, or a Chanel, you know it's a Chanel. This one, Mancera has that DNA. It's a Mancera DNA through and through. And if you like Mancera DNAs, you should try every one of these fragrances. The only one that really strays away from that is the Red Tobacco. But even then, you can still feel like it's one of the warm and heavier Manceras. Because it just seems like the lighter fragrances from Mancera have this thing, and the darker fragrances have this thing. But anyway, those are really good fragrances that you need to try out. I think from my favorite for the spring and summer from this list is probably the Lemon Lime. And my favorite darker one is either Instant Crush or Red Tobacco. Those are the only two, and they're really hard because they're really different. So I would definitely go out and try them out. I would probably pick Red Tobacco over Instant Crush, but really they are so close together. It depends on what you're looking for. If you want the more masculine fragrance, obviously go with Red Tobacco. But if you like sweeter fragrances, go with Instant Crush. But thank you guys very much for listening to me for all this time. I hope you got a lot of details out of this. The ones that I didn't mention the performance on, they are 8 to 10 plus hours. You get way more than that with Red Tobacco. And so I forgot to mention that. But thank you guys very much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Smell you later. Peace.